Hey everybody, DJ Porkchop coming to you live tonight from the shop. Bit of an unusual video for me. This has nothing to do with spinal cord stimulator, guns, RC cars, or any of the above. What does it have to do with? Well, this old Bearcat 101 scanner right here. This scanner here, I'll tell you a little bit about it, just briefly. My dad got this scanner. My dad and myself have been scanners people for ever plus a day. I picked it up from my dad, like for scanners and CB radios and such. But he got this scanner. My sister-in-law's grandfather passed away and he got this radio, this scanner rather, I'm sorry. Well, he had contacted me and wanted me to help him get crystals for this radio, like the old Bearcat 4s, Bearcat 5s. You had to put the little crystals in there for each individual frequency. As you can tell, this scanner is a 16 channel. We got one light on, and I'll discuss it here in a minute. I didn't know anything about the 101s at the time, but well, come to find out, my dad has been gone 2 years now. He passed away 2 years ago, and naturally, I ended up with this here scanner. No one else really wanted it, and I got it, and I didn't know what to do with it. And here I'm going to set out to find crystals for it. And lo and behold, with this Bearcat 101, it was the first programmable radio. So I understand that Bearcat came out with. You no longer had to piddle around with crystals. You'd dig through a box of 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000 of them just to find the right one for the frequency that you want. You no longer had to do that. The manual for this radio, I keep calling it radio, it's a scanner, which I happen to have here. It was very hard to find. I don't know if I can share that legally. If I can, I'll go ahead and drop a link to it too, where it can be gotten from me. But I couldn't figure out how to get this thing. I plugged it in and it worked. It picked up a channel, and it does work, by the way. See if I can.
It was fair, with a temperature of 62 at Terre Haute, 58 at Decatur, Illinois, 82 at Jonesboro, Arkansas.
It does work. Let me get this where we want to be. As you can hear, it does work, and that's why I need to reprogram it, Joe. I couldn't figure out how to program it, so I got into this manual right here. And I apologize, you can't see it that good. I did print it off, but you still can't read it. Well, in here they give you some handy charts with like a whole bunch of frequencies, low band, high band, this, that band, everything else in between. And what you do, it tells you with the frequency, it gives you a series of X's on switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see where I've got some X's on there. I'll explain that here in a minute. Well, each one of those, number 1, 2, 3, it corresponds to each individual one of these here switches. And this number 13 right here, the contact is a little screwy on there, so I got to make sure whenever I go to set this that it's up just a freckle to shut that off. So anyway, I want to put a frequency in here and I couldn't figure it out. And finally, I went through the manual. And lo and behold, I did figure it out, and I started using this chart. And like this here frequency, I went to radioreference.com and got these. Like this weather one, for example. I looked it up on this chart, and it told me flip this, flip that, whatever the case may be. You hold down on the enter button, and this light will blink, and whenever it does, you're programmed. So I wanted to put a frequency in that wasn't in the chart. So they give you a handy-dandy formula for figuring out low bands, high bands. And that's where all this mumbo-jumbo comes in handy. I had to take the frequency times by 200. I guess we were finding a binary or something. Very long story short, I figured out what switches need to be up and which ones need to be down. Where the X's are, that indicates that the switch needs to be in the up position. No means it needs to remain in the down position. Number 16 is for a delay. If I want to add a delay to the channel, you automatically flip that one up regardless of the fact, no matter what frequency you are programming into this here scanner. So what I'm going to do, I want to program channel 14. I'm over here, I got all my switches, they're lockout switches, I got them flipped down. I come over here to program, I flip it to ready. You can see over here right now I'm on 3. I'll just manually bring it over to 14 where I want to program. Now I will add this disclaimer, sometimes it does not work because my contacts are dirty. The squelch doesn't even work at all. I mean, it was built in '74, so it's pretty old. So what I figured out was I need switches 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 15. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 15, and remember, if I want a delay, I'll flip up number 16, but I really don't want a delay on it. I don't care about a delay. So what I do is I'm going to hit this, and you might see that light blink. If you don't, I'll have to fiddle with it for a second or two to get it to work. See my contacts, they just are horribly dirty. So what I do, let me switch hands, I'm actually right-handed. Let me see if I can. And if it don't work, you probably won't. There it goes. That channel is now programmed. So what I do, I flip this back off already from the program. Come back over here to manual. I'll bring all my switches back up except for my weather band, because it will play. It'll not play.
Serving the southern Illinois area on a frequency of 162.425 megahertz. This broadcast originates at no.
I'll lock that out. This here channel will work on my scanner in the house, which is a local police department. It will not work on this scanner. It just won't pick. I don't understand. It won't pick it up. This antenna, if you're catching a lot of skip, you can lower this antenna. If you're catching a real weak signal skip, you can lower that antenna. You can raise it. And, so a few of these channels are like that. I got to go back through and reprogram, but I just literally just 5 minutes before this video figured out how to come up with that binary number to program this thing. So that's the Bearcat 101 in all of its glory. I do have the manual on the phone. Like I say, I did print this out so I could show you guys the tables. But as you can see, they're very hard to read. So my apologies. I was going to try to make them bigger, but my wife's got to do a print job when she gets home and about out of ink. So let me see what I can do about getting this file. I don't know if it's legal for me to share it or not. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but if I can, I will. If I can't, well, then you'll just get to see the video. But anyway, like I say, if you need some anybody new to scanners, if you need some frequencies for your area, go to radioreference.com. It's got a map. You click on the map with the state you live in. You can come down here and click on the county that you want. Notice I clicked all the way down here. It pulled up every single frequency in the county for me. Note on these old sets, not all these frequencies are going to work. They will on my nice digital one in the house and my handheld, but they will not on this one. But
Tuesday night,
still sounds works good.
Lows in the upper 40s.
And with that, I'm going to get out of here.
Mostly sunny.
We'll catch y'all later.
Highs in the
Thanks
upper
for tuning
70s.
in.
Wednesday
Bye.
night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 50s. Thursday, partly sunny with a 20% chance of